Have you ever pondered on the power of numbers, how they shape our reality and understanding of the world? Welcome to the intriguing realm of statistics, a universe where numbers dance in harmony to the rhythm of reality. In this realm, numbers are not just digits. They are storytellers, narrating tales of trends, patterns, and correlations. Statistics are indispensable across an array of domains. In the world of science, they allow us to validate theories and hypotheses. In economics, they provide us with a snapshot of market trends, helping businesses strategize and governments make informed policy decisions. They assist in making sense of the world, interpreting the past, and predicting the future. Without statistics, we'd be lost in a sea of data, unable to discern signal from noise. They help transform abstract numbers into tangible, meaningful insights, enabling informed decision-making and guiding us toward a better understanding of the world around us. As you see, statistics wield a hidden power, transforming abstract numbers into meaningful insights. Numbers on their own might seem insignificant, but when strategically analyzed, they reveal patterns that can be startling. Consider the ever-growing global population. In the year 2021, our planet was home to approximately 7.8 billion souls. This number, colossal as it may seem, is not just a static figure. It tells a story, a narrative of human expansion and progress. It's a pattern, a trend, a trajectory that hints at our species' drive for growth. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The patterns revealed by statistics permeate every facet of our existence. They're in the march of technology, the fluctuations of economies, the rhythm of nature, and the ebb and flow of our very lives. Take climate change, for example. It's not just a term thrown around in environmental discussions. It's a pattern, a trend, a trajectory that has been meticulously tracked and analyzed through the lens of statistics. The rise in global temperatures, the melting ice caps, the increase in extreme weather events, all these are patterns unveiled through rigorous statistical analysis. And then there's the realm of economics. The world economy is a complex, dynamic entity, constantly shifting and evolving. Here too, statistical patterns come into play. Patterns of growth and recession, of wealth distribution, of market trends and financial forecasts. These are all informed by the diligent interpretation of numbers. Statistical patterns don't just describe our world, they help us understand it. They give shape to the raw data, turning it into something meaningful, something we can grasp and use to make informed decisions. These patterns can be enlightening, revealing insights that we might otherwise overlook. They can show us where we're going, where we've been, and perhaps most importantly, where we might want to change course. But sometimes these patterns can also be alarming. They can expose truths that are uncomfortable, inconvenient, or even downright scary. They can force us to confront realities that we'd prefer to ignore, to face up to the consequences of our actions. Indeed, the patterns unveiled by statistics can be enlightening, sometimes even alarming. But what happens when these numbers, these powerful tools, are misused or misrepresented? Well, we enter a territory where statistics become a double-edged sword. They can be manipulated or twisted to support biased views or agendas. And this is where the real danger lies. Imagine you're in a political campaign, and you hear a candidate making sweeping claims backed by impressive percentages. But wait, are these numbers telling the whole story? Not always. Politicians can cherry-pick data, focusing on a narrow set of statistics that support their narrative while conveniently ignoring the broader context. This is a classic example of how statistics can be misused to sway public opinion. In another scenario, consider misleading advertising. A product claims to reduce your risk of a certain health condition by 50%. Sounds great, right? But what if the original risk was only 2%? That 50% reduction suddenly doesn't seem so impressive. This is an example of relative risk versus absolute risk, a common statistical trap in advertising. And then there's the classic correlation does not imply causation. Just because two variables appear to move together doesn't mean one causes the other. Yet it's a common tactic to imply causal relationships where none might exist. For instance, if the number of ice cream sales and the rate of sunburns both increase during the summer, it doesn't mean that eating ice cream causes sunburns. These examples underline the importance of being critical consumers of statistics. It's not enough to accept numbers at face value. We need to question where they come from, how they're calculated, and most importantly, what they're not telling us. A statistic, after all, is not an absolute truth. It's a tool for understanding the world around us. But like any tool, it can be used for good or ill. It's a stark reminder that while statistics can enlighten, they can also deceive if not handled with integrity. How can numbers help us see into the future? Sounds like magic, doesn't it? But let me assure you, it's not sorcery but science, a particular branch of it known as predictive analytics. Predictive analytics is where statistics take on the role of a fortune teller, using past and current data to make educated guesses about what might happen next. It's like a mathematically fueled crystal ball, and it's used in so many areas of our lives than you might realize. Let's take weather forecasting, for instance. Meteorologists use complex statistical models that take into account factors like humidity, wind speed, and temperature, among others. These models, which are based on decades of weather data, help predict everything from tomorrow's temperature to the path of a hurricane. The stock market is another arena where predictive statistics play a crucial role. Financial analysts use statistical models to predict market trends, guiding investors on when to buy or sell. These predictions aren't always spot on, of course. The market is influenced by a myriad of factors, many of which are impossible to quantify. But statistical models give us a foundation, a starting point for making informed decisions. Finally, we've all become familiar with pandemic modeling over the past few years. Epidemiologists use statistical models to predict the spread of diseases, helping public health officials plan and prepare. These models consider variables like the disease's transmission rate and the population's susceptibility. Predictive statistics in this context can literally be a matter of life and death. Predictive analytics isn't perfect. It doesn't give us a clear, unambiguous view of the future. It's more like a foggy window that we're constantly trying to wipe clean. But even a foggy view can help us navigate, can give us a sense of direction. Predictive statistics, a crystal ball of the modern age, guiding decisions and shaping futures. It's a tool that, when used wisely and responsibly, can help us prepare for what lies ahead. But in this realm of numbers, where does the human element fit in? As we delve deeper into the world of statistics, one might ponder upon the role of the human element in this discourse. We've traversed through patterns, misuses, and predictions, but it's the interpretation and critical thinking that truly define the importance of statistics. Numbers don't exist in a vacuum. They are an echo of human experiences, a reflection of our world and the people living in it. The data we collect is not just a sea of digits, it represents people's realities, their joys, struggles, aspirations, and fears. And it's in this understanding that the human element becomes crucial. Consider the statistician as a storyteller, and the numbers as the characters in the narrative. The statistician's job isn't just to collect and analyze the data, it's also to interpret and give it a voice, to look beyond the surface and uncover the human stories that lie beneath. This is where empathy plays a critical role. When we view statistics through the lens of empathy, we can understand the human aspect behind the numbers. A percentage isn't just a fraction, it's a group of people. A mean isn't just an average, it's a snapshot of a community's experience. Critical thinking is another key aspect. It's not enough to simply accept the numbers at face value. We need to question them, to probe deeper into their origins and implications, to ask not just what these numbers are, but what they mean. But it's not just about understanding the numbers. It's also about using this understanding to inform decisions, to shape policies, to drive change. It's about using statistics as a tool to better our world, to amplify voices that might otherwise go unheard. In the end, statistics is a deeply human endeavor. It's a way of making sense of our complex, ever-changing world. It's a way of telling our collective story, of capturing the richness and diversity of human experience. Statistics may be about numbers, but they are ultimately about people and their stories. So we return to our initial question. Have you ever pondered on the power of numbers? As we've journeyed through the intrigue, patterns, misuse, prediction, and human element of statistics, we've uncovered the undeniable influence and authority they hold. Statistics are not just numbers on a page, they're a powerful tool that can forecast trends, expose patterns, and influence decisions. But with this power comes a responsibility. The ethical use of statistics is paramount. It's not enough to merely understand the numbers. We must interpret them responsibly, ensuring that they are not manipulated to mislead or deceive. This responsibility extends to every person who encounters statistics, from the researchers and analysts to the everyday individual. In essence, statistics are a language, a universal dialect of numbers that communicates stories, trends, and truths. But like any language, it's not just about speaking. It's about understanding and being understood. In the world of statistics, numbers hold power, and with power comes a great deal of responsibility.